So I'm going to be doing my quick thoughts here on the NFL. The Super Wild Card Saturday game reactions after games ended. So my thoughts are the first game was the 7th seed in the NFC, Seattle Seahawks, taking on the 2 seed San Francisco 49ers on Fox at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific when the game was actually going on. It was supposed to be a downpour of rain they were predicting, and they were still going to play the game obviously anyways. And their Fox had their back balancers, Joe Davis and Daryl Johnson, which is their number 2 after Joe Buck Drake left for ESPN and to do the playoffs. And that's not a surprise, that Joe Davis was on. Especially when Charles Davis, their noon guy, left, and then their other noon guy left as well. And then but anyways, the game itself, I thought it was going to be a lot closer with the rain. With the rain, I thought Seattle had a good chance because it would be like pretty hard to throw the ball in the rain, especially in a downpour. So pretty much just running the football and maybe a few throws here and there. If it like dried up or you have like a new foot, like they switch up the football. And then the field goals, it might be hard to kick field goals, might be hard to kick extra points. Obviously in the rain it would be if they're slipping. But it stopped. It's sure raining. It was raining in the morning, they said, and it was raining game. But then it stopped raining like in the second quarter. And it was still 17-16 at halftime. And then, it's the third quarter now, score. It's still close. But then the fourth quarter just was a blowout. And I'm not really surprised by that. I was surprised though with the sun that Seattle was able to get the lead in the first half. And then it skyrocketed from there. And once I saw that score in the fourth, and again momentum in the fourth, I'm like, there's no way. There was no way. And then on NBC, Al Michaels returned to NBC to be the backup commentator for NBC after he left NBC to join Amazon for their Thursday Night Football package. Probably because Amazon is paying him more money than NBC would. He was calling games with Kirk Herbstreit, who was double dipping, calling Thursday Night Football on Amazon. And he's also double dipping by calling every Thursday Night Football except for Thanksgiving week. Weeks 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, he calls every week except week 1 and the Thanksgiving week, whatever week of the NFL season Thanksgiving falls on. And he calls 15 games they do. In week 18, there's no Thursday game for the playoff scenarios. So he called those games. And then he ended up partnering, instead of being with Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth, being with Chris Collinsworth. Because Chris Collinsworth called the Thursday game and then he called Sunday game, and his voice was sore during the second game, so like, we're only gonna make him call one game. And that's what they did. They put Al Michaels and not Chris Collinsworth. They put Tony Dungy in, and he is Chris Collinsworth's replacement. Like, he calls the Thursday games or the Thursday, I should say the Thursday Thanksgiving game he calls. He calls the Thursday Thanksgiving game. And because Chris Collinsworth calls all the preseason, games, like the Hall of Fame game, and there's other preseason games. And he also calls 2 regular season games week 1. So then he has a bye week, Thanksgiving week. So he's still got 18 regular season games. And it was actually good. The commentators were actually pretty good. Tony Dungy, for being Al Michaels and Tony Dungy, were kind of just thrown together. And hasn't really called much action. Tony Dungy hasn't called much. But he does call games, and he actually is pretty solid when he's called in. He's actually decent when he's called in, but he's more of a studio person, I think. But he can film when need to be. And Al Michaels, he doesn't really have a lot of chemistry with Tony Dungy, but the two did make it work together. And the game itself, I thought the game itself, and it was on NBC 8:15 Eastern time, because it's in Jacksonville, Florida, Los Angeles Chargers against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The 5-seed Chargers and the 4-seed Jacksonville. The only reason Jacksonville was the 4, despite having a worse record, was they won the division. They're the lowest. They're the team with the worst record in winning the division. And Trevor Lawrence threw 4 interceptions in the first half. He threw 3 in the first quarter, threw an interception in the second quarter, and they had a fumble in the first half. 5 turnovers in the first half, 4 interceptions, and it was 27-0. And you thought, they'd roll with it. And the only reason was 20, because they kicked a couple of kicks. They kicked 2 field goals, missed an extra point. Actually, they missed an extra point. They kicked 2 field goals. That's right. And made 3 touchdowns and 3 extra points. And they stopped them on 2 drives with field goals. And then Jacksonville scored a touchdown late in the second quarter with like 20 seconds left. And I got them to 27-7. And then it just derailed. Like, Jacksonville ended up stopping Los Angeles Chargers in defense. And then they kept going at their own, they ended up going fast-tempoed. And fast-tempoed, they ended up tearing out the defense. And then the defense was on the field more than the offense was in the second half. So it ended up working out really well. Ended up going fast. And they couldn't react to what they were doing. And they weren't set right and this and that. And they've gotten big plays and they ended up doing really solid. And you could see in some plays, they were about to break runs for scores, or any moment they could score a touchdown, and then right away you could see the momentum shifting in the touchdown, and then later, and then they ended up actually doing it. And the thing was, the Chargers could have actually put this game away without the field goal, because the Chargers in the fourth quarter missed a 40-yard kick. He made a 50-yard kick. Dicker did, but he missed a 40-yard kick. And then at the end of the game, came back, and it was third biggest comeback in a playoff game ever. And it was impressive. 4 interceptions in the first half, and then you throw for 4 touchdowns and win the game. Your team wins the game. That's mightily impressive. So it sucks.